Hello and welcome to the 269th episode of the Fret Talk podcast, the world's #1 Fret Talk podcast. I am your host, Joe Branton, joined this week by Lee Alexander.
69.
And BudgetPedalChap. Gentlemen, hello and welcome to another episode. Thanks for joining me.
Indeed.
Thanks for joining you.
This is, yes.
That threw me off.
I'm usually the one driving this, so this is a great a great
No, that's
start.
it. That's all I'm doing now. I'm stepping back now. This is now yours, Budge. You've got this.
I was liking that. Carry on. Okay, so clearly we are here joined by Mr. Joseph Branton of the Guitar Nerds podcast. Hello and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me. It's always lovely to do another person's podcast.
Indeed. I mean, you are quite the veteran by this point, aren't you? You've your Guitar Nerds podcast have been going for some years now.
It is a decade, I believe. It is a decade, which is a long time to podcast.
Indeed.
It does make you wonder what we've done wrong with our lives to be on the podcast.
Oh, yeah. I often ask myself that when I'm on a Friday night with a laptop in front of me trying to edit out Lee's coughs.
Yeah.
Surely something's gone wrong here. But there we go. Here we are. So for those who do not know, Joseph Branton, what rock have you been living under? Is my first question. But secondly, would you like to introduce yourself to our podcast listeners?
Sure. Yes. Yeah. If you're not familiar with me, and why would you be? You only need to listen to one guitar podcast, and you have chosen Fret Talk, dear listener, which is a fantastic guitar podcast as it is. But yes, I am. My name's Joe, and I run the Guitar Nerds podcast, which is I don't know, maybe like I was talking to Blake Wyland from Chasing Tone, the podcast recently, and the Tone Mob podcast, and Blake thinks we might be the longest running. That Guitar Nerds might be the longest running. I'm not sure. We're about 10 years in. I think we're probably the longest running if you count the fact that before we were Guitar Nerds, the 4 original hosts used to work for a Brighton guitar shop called GAC, and we were the GAC Guitar Shop podcast then. I think we had, 3 years, something like that, under our belt as that, and then the rest of it under Guitar Nerds. So that's what we do, a weekly episode, doing, much what you guys do, talking about the news and talking about guitar stuff that we care about.
I mean, we try to fit a bit of news in, but
it's mainly jokes about our genitals. But there's definitely guitar themed.
I think we're the cleanest guitar podcast. Guitar Nerds is definitely the cleanest guitar podcast out there.
Indeed, yes, very like the squeaky clean boys on the scene, isn't it? Or it used to be. Now you've got is it Naomi Watts?
We have Naomi McLeod. Yeah,
Sorry.
Naomi is Naomi's great. She's from Dublin in Ireland. She used to work for a couple of guitar stores over there, and she now works for Eden Amplification and Gear for Music over here.
Okay,
She's great. Yeah, I met her some years ago, just at a random math rock gig where she was a friend of one of the probably the best bass player I know, a guy called Joe Thorpe. And he introduced me to Naomi, and we all ended up just like talking really geeky bass guitar stuff for the whole night. So I knew she'd be a great fit for the podcast. And of course, when the original host of Guitar Nerds, Mark Packham, when he stepped down, and Jay Cross had said that he also wanted to step away from it, I was kind of looking to get some new podcast hosts on board, and Naomi was like the first person that I thought of.
Indeed. Yeah, so let's take us back to those early days, because I can't remember how soon it was into the GAC podcast, but I was there pretty much from the start.
Yes, you were definitely old school. You've been through it all.
Indeed. So you had it was yourself, Pac-Man, Cross, and Matt as well. Matt
Yeah.
Who we see all over the internet these days, but for completely different things. That's quite the boss, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. So when the podcast started, it was funny times because I was working in the bass department. I was sort of semi-managing it, but only because and everyone called me the bass department like manager, but it was only because the actual manager of the bass department barely turned up. He was always drunk or late, and so it was kind of.
And this wasn't you.
It wasn't me. No, he had a bigger mustache than me. He was kind of like I don't know, Mecha Joe, but he was barely there. So I was sort of running the bass department.
Yeah.
Mark Packham was like a part-time. He used to be the assistant manager and now was just like a part-time marketing guy for GAC. He was trying, I think he was using GAC to sort of dip his toes in and try and find marketing avenues, which is why I tried the podcast. Matt Knight was the store manager and Jay Cross was the assistant manager. And so, yeah, we all really got on. And Mark just asked us if we wanted to stick around one evening and try recording a podcast and getting some gins in a tin and a pizza. And we did that. And then we did that every single Monday for 10 years. but yes, yeah. So yeah, Mark originally started it as the GAC podcast, where it stayed for 3 years ish, something like that, until Mark left. Mark and Jay both left to go and work for a headphone company at the time. So we couldn't really continue being the GAC podcast. And Matt was offered his dream job at Boss Effects Pedals. So, we had to separate and make it its own thing. So it became Guitar Nerds. And obviously, shortly after, Jay got a job for Fender, which was Jay's, sort of dream company to work for. Matt was at Boss. I was still the manager at GAC for a long time, the marketing manager at GAC for a long time. And Mark eventually moved on to Reverb.com, where he's now the marketing manager for all of Europe for Reverb. And I think you can hear him. I think you can hear him voicing over some videos and stuff for them now as well. But
I mean, he got to start doing that with your YouTube channel, didn't he? Because you had quite a string of like top 5 videos for a brief period as well, didn't you?
Yeah, YouTube for me was something I always chased and never nailed, and eventually just gave up on. I just decided I wasn't YouTube material, but certainly early in the YouTube days, Mark did a great job of doing loads of like top 10 weirdest this, strangest Stratocasters, Gibsons you can't believe they released, things like that. And they did really well. I mean, bear in mind that he sold all his shares of Guitar Nerds Limited to me, and that YouTube channel still makes 150 quid a month for us not having released a video for 2 years. Certainly not made a successful video on there for about 5 years. So thanks, Mark.
We were looking at a bunch of like inspiration from various different, not just music YouTube videos, but like all sorts, like game ones and so on and so forth. And the top 5, top 10 like list things do really, really well. So we've been thinking about doing it like top 5 choruses or
it's a great idea. Yeah. Do it, jump on it. If you can be bothered to do it, then do it.
That's the issue, unfortunately, isn't it? That how many like top 5 weirdest 80s choruses in plastic housings can you do?
I also do. I do think the YouTube boat has sailed as well. Do it on TikTok, guys. Like,
YouTube
will be dead in a year.
Yeah, we're doing a bunch of shorts and stuff, and like you can reuse them on everything now. So. You can just plaster them on TikTok, you can plaster them on YouTube, do so on and so forth, and tick every boat.
Yeah,
you
can always tick those boats. Yeah, I often tick boats. Yeah,
that's the privilege of living in Brighton, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh dear. So, as we mentioned, like Guitar Nerds has quite the journey over the decade. Pretty much, you've gone from, like you say, being partnered with a guitar store, and then kind of going off and do your own thing and dipping into YouTube, and it's evolved since then, hasn't it? So since the core 4 kind of disbanded, you've branched out to a few different avenues within the podcast, haven't you?
Yeah. I guess. Do you mean in in series that we've done?
Yeah.
Or
because I mean, there's bass related stuff. There was, I mean, like thinking back, there was like a audio diary of Matt in Japan as well at one point, wasn't there?
Diarrhea. Yeah, we did it. I think he had that whilst he was there. But yeah, then we did. Matt did his diary of Japan. Me and Matt have done 2 series of writing a song together, where we showed people how to use the DAW or how to use plugins.
Yeah, you know what? I've had that on my to watch list for ages. That specific thing. I've been waiting. I don't know why I haven't watched it. It's just been there, and I keep looking at it, thinking, I need to watch that.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, and we did. We've done like the bass guitar nerds and a whole bunch of mini series. We did Friday specials for a while, things like that. We tried lots of things. To be honest, recently it's just been the standard weekly podcast with me and Matt more often than not. Just because I've actually really enjoyed maybe removing some of the segments from the podcast and making it more conversational between me and Matt. Yeah. I'm not sure our listeners agree. Certainly the exit polls on Patreon suggest that maybe I'm going down the wrong path here, but I've really enjoyed it with Matt, and I am going to re-expand it. Yeah. The honest reason is that I've been so busy. I haven't had the time to do the mini series because I became like the marketing director for Ashdown Engineering about 2 years ago, which is actually a lot of work. And they've got me on board to design a whole new range of basses, which I've been working on for about a year, and a new range of pedals and a new range of amps. And that's a lot of work in itself. Yeah. And on top of that, I became the digital marketing manager for KMA Machines, the German effects pedal company.
Yeah, we know KMA.
They're great. I really like them. I sort of asked for the job because I really like the pedals, and they were like, "Yes, we kind of need that role, so you're hired." But having to do those 2 companies and do the podcast just meant that I've had less time. And because the core members are now Matt and myself, like Jay has stepped back because he's really pursuing what he's doing with Fender, and it's taking up an awful lot of his time. And I think we're going to see Jay Cross being responsible for an awful lot of UK decisions for Fender very soon. But he doesn't have the time. And Mark the same sort of for Reverb, just having those 2 drop out.
Europe,
exactly for a massive website.
I mean, I've got to say, I've noticed there's been more and more Shell Pink additions into the Fender lineup in like the Europe and the UK. So we're definitely feeling Jay Cross's influence, aren't we?
Well, actually, the bulk of that isn't Jay. It's Dan Grace, who never really came on the podcast proper, but Dan Grace was the acoustic department manager and one of our best friends at GAC. And he is also Shell Pink obsessed, as everyone was at GAC. And he has become the European manager for Squier. So basically, everything in the world is run by GAC employees circa 2013. But yeah, that's actually why all those Pink releases, like the Pink Bass 6, that was Dan Grace requesting that, and that being them. I think they trialed something like it was something like one of the Esquires. They did an Esquire that Dan was like, please do this for the UK market. It will sell really well. And they were like, oh, I'm not sure. We'll give it a go. And they gave it a go. And I think they did it in a blue, maybe in Lake Placid, and in one other color. I can't remember. But they did that. Dan Grace requested it. They made it. It sold really well. And they went, oh, you have great ideas. What else should we do? And he was like, a Shell Pink Bass 6, a Shell Pink this, a Shell Pink that. So that's kind of, that's why we've got all those things.
Oh, I mean, thank you to Dan, because those Esquires were like an absolute hot pick. So much so that one of our Patreon backers and one of my personal friends has got one.
Ah, there you go. So,
thank you, Dan Grace.
I think about it. It's something I haven't got an Esquire. I'm trying to slim down everything that I've got at the moment, but I think an Esquire is something that should be part of the. Sorry?
Let me know what you're selling.
Yeah, everything at the moment.
I mean,
everything.
Surely
everything.
you only need one bass. Like a
Well, yeah, I know.
that.
I just got 2 new jazz basses. That was a mistake. So I got rid of a couple. I'm back up to like 7 jazz basses.
That's a
now.
lot of jazz basses.
It's a problem. It's too many. I need a deposit for a house. I need to sell some things.
Is that about a base, like a couple of base sized chunk of money?
Yeah, that's I think I've got a deposit here in equipment. I just need to bring myself to sell it. I think.
Oh, it's hard times, man. It's hard times.
What percentage is a deposit on a house?
Like 20, isn't it?
It's no. You can do it with 10. But 10% of a 2-bedroom flat in Brighton is still 40 grand.
Shitting hell.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
And surely the wages aren't that great down in Brighton.
It's the same as London. So, so we sort of have unofficial London waiting, but, no. Yeah. The wages for Brighton, the same as house prices for Brighton, the same as house prices for London, are affordable for bankers who don't live in those houses, not for normal people. So, it's we're in the same boat.
Indeed. I mean, largely in the UK, we're fucked. But that is a conversation.
This is one of the huge reasons that I moved, because like we've done this, well, not this, because this looks like shit because I'm still renovating my studio, but we've managed to, like, the houses.
It's a spacious shit if it's shit.
The houses, you can see all so cheap.
4 of my walls from this camera, so.
Honestly, we bought this house outright and we paid, I think it was about 69 grand, something like that, and it's got 2,000 square meters of land on a huge 4-bedroom house. It's mental. It really is absolutely mental.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, whereas I'm looking at to get a 2-bedroom flat in Brighton, 420. So
a flat.
Yeah, you can't get. There aren't houses in Brighton, mate.
Whoosh. Whoosh.
I saw that Gilmore's selling his apartment. If you want to, he
is. Yeah, I did ask about it, but I'm not sure I liked it. Yeah.
I did have a look at the listing. It's quite nice.
Yeah.
Wait.
He's gonna go windsurfing permanently, I think.
You should do it, Joe. You should do it.
Yeah, I should.
I mean, it would be a bit of a claim to fame, wouldn't it? Having Gilmore's ex-property.
Yeah.
Probably cheaper than buying one of his guitars on the auction as well.
Almost insane. Definitely.
That is insane that to buy a house is cheaper than to buy a guitar.
I mean, he didn't record fucking Wish You Were
Dave
Here
Gilmore's
on the
guitars.
house, did he?
Yeah, I know, but just think about it. Any house, any guitar. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. So, polymath.
This is poly-math as well, isn't it? Not polymath one word.
It is, yeah. We had to. So that, dear listener, they're talking about my band Polymath. We did have to add a hyphen because there was a Scottish DJ who, it didn't matter how many times we contacted him being like, can we sort this out, because you sort of started after us and you named the same thing. He never replied to us, and it was ruining all of our Spotify playlists and stuff like that. To the point that, like, there was a Spotify playlist for some festival we played in Europe, and on the playlist they'd added the goddamn
some of his music,
some weird Scottish happy house with rather than us. But yeah, so we added the hyphen to avoid it.
Cool.
It looks cool though. It's like Spider-Man, It's got a hyphen. It's really cool. So
I've got to get you. It was like, what the fuck? So I don't remember any hit movies about polymath.
You wait, you'll see.
Yeah, 10 years time. Tell us about polymath.
A lot of the polymath music does sound like it should be on soundtracks.
Right, yeah. I guess it's sort of it can get a little bit epic. So sometimes, depending on what we're doing. Yeah, Polymath, for you, dear listener, if you've not checked us out, and why would you? We're an instrumental prog band. So it's a 5-piece with saxophone, guitar, bass, drums, and keyboards and synths. Soon to be a 6-piece, actually. We're adding a trumpet player stroke percussionist because we just add those things on the records anyway, so we might as well have it live. But yeah, Polymath has been going for probably around a decade as well, I would have thought. And started off as quite a punky 3-piece. But yeah, we make instrumental prog, very the Mars Volta, King Crimson inspired. And yeah, we're about to put out our first record as a 5-piece. Zenith is coming out on the 18th of November, which we're pretty excited about. It's great to be getting back out on tour again. We're getting to do 2 weeks in the UK and Ireland, which is our first tour post pandemic and also post really Brexit becoming a real reality. So gone are the days where we could make money from it. Just to get into Ireland now, instead of a ferry being 400 quid as it was pre-Brexit, that's now £800-900, and you've got to pay a carnet when you get in. So we've got to not only count in, and this, ladies and gentlemen, includes every fucking cable. You have to count in, physically count in all of your gear on the Irish border to make sure that you're not selling it. The same as we always had to do in Switzerland. But it was the reason why when you go to Switzerland, you charge a promoter $1,000 for a gig instead of 500 quid. Unfortunately, when we booked to the Irish dates, it was before all this stuff was up in the air. So we're doing 4 days. So we're being paid $2,000 for those 4 days. And it's costing us $2,000 in a carnet and ferry just to get over there. So gone are the days where you
free.
So yeah, exactly. We're not for free. We'll lose money on petrol. We'll probably make it back in merch sales and stuff. But I don't mind breaking even because Ireland is a wonderful place to play. But to be honest, most bands are. I'm not like this. This isn't blowing a trumpet. We're quite an expensive band to book. Just because we've been around long enough expensive at our level, I guess. But we've been around long enough that if a promoter can't pay us that, then they probably can't promote the show well enough to get people there. So it doesn't matter. But most bands probably charge like 150, 200 quid. We did for years. Most people on the normal gigging circuit charge that. And it basically means that no bands from the UK can go to Europe. No bands can go to Ireland, not without losing money. Yeah. And that's ridiculous and awful and a terrible, terrible thing and a real tragedy for music. But
what I'm seeing from my friends' bands is they are only going to Europe if they can book like a ton of gigs. So they'll get across there, and if they can do a load of gigs, then it makes sense. But if it's a case of pop across to Calais for a gig, you're just not going to do it.
Yeah. Well, we can't do festivals anymore because it would cost us too much, unless we can get those festivals, because I can't remember how long a carnet lasts. I think it's 30 days. So if we can get them all in a 30-day thing, then great. But if it's outside of that, then we literally can't afford to. No one can.
It's like a high-speed tour at that point, especially if you're going around Europe, because it's just mental. It really is.
Yeah.
Do 2 or 3 shows a night.
So we had to do this accounting for every single thing that we were boxing up when we moved over. So we had quite a big 3-bedroom house plus all my studio, and like you say, it's every single cable you take, every single pick. It's so mental. We had to itemize basically everything we owned. And it was like going through, and I'm like, okay, I've got like 40 capacitors and stuff like this. Oh my god.
At that point, you just go, give these away. Is it worth like counting out the transistors and capacitors and resistors that I've got?
And you have to like meet one little little Hitler at customs who's like, right, okay, I'm gonna go through this, and do you know what? Yeah. We didn't get any of that. We had no one check it, no one check no one checked our COVID jabs and all these sort of things.
Well, you're so right. I've heard from bands. I've heard mixed things. Basically, most bands aren't getting checked. But here's the thing: if you take a risk and don't get your carnet, and you go over and you get checked, they don't make you pay it on the spot. You don't get fined. You get turned back. So, so what you're doing is risking your entire tour off the back of a £500 carnet. So it's. Well, the one thing that we have avoided is you have to count in and out merch so that you pay tax on the merch that you've sold in Europe. So what we've done is made... No, we've made a hole in one of the seats in our transit van underneath, and we're storing all of our merch under there because I'm not counting in and out records to pay for this ridiculous political statement that everyone's making. So
maybe we should.
At least we got Brexit done, eh? At least we got Brexit done.
So good, yeah. Thanks, guys.
Blue passports as well.
Yeah, thanks to Tories. I'm happy with that.
I didn't get away without changing my passport before we left, so I've had to get one of these stupid blue passports.
So you're a racist now, further.
But I've managed to beat it. I've managed to beat it now because I've now got my migration application through. So now I can travel all throughout the UK and all throughout Europe without any bother.
Well, fuck you.
But that means if you want anything moved,
you heard it here first.
It's almost our official slogan. That is just fuck you, Lee. Fuck you.
Anyway, we're well off of the beaten track of guitars right now.
We are
kinda.
Yeah. We've got a few kind of newsy bits. We've got a hot take to do this week as well because we forgot to do it last week. But we have got a really extra special segment, which this is a once in a lifetime, once only segment. So you best appreciate this. So this segment is especially for Joe and for Lee, who are diametrically opposed.
We're the only other ones here.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not for me. I wrote the thing. It wouldn't be fair. You guys are diametrically opposed on the band Muse. So,
oh yeah, the worst thing to ever happen to. Does it count as music? I'm not sure.
I mean, it's so strange because you and I completely agree on John Mayer. So it's so weird.
Very good.
Yeah,
you're almost kind of homoerotically attracted to him as well, or what are we saying? Our segment is "Say Muse, Say Me." The principle behind this is I'm going to give you 2 sets of lyrics. One is to a Muse song, and one is to not a Muse song. You have to identify which of these ridiculous lyrics belong to the Muse song. And
wonderful.
Look, either way, Lee's going to guess, or he's going to tell us because he's an absolute massive Muse fan. He's going to tell us what Muse song it's from, and then I will tell you. I'll tell you what the other.
Though? They are one of these bands where you know the song by listening to it rather than because so often the title of the song has absolutely fuck all to do with how it sounds.
Oh yeah, and I've picked like particular points where Matt Bellamy is well within his falsetto range, so he's not actually like speaking the words. It's more like visceral grunts at that point.
So how does this work? Do we take it in turns?
No, so I'm gonna pass it to you. You're gonna guess whether it is Muse or not Muse.
Got it.
Or which one's Muse, should I say? And then we're going to pass it over to Lee to tell us, in his infinite wisdom, which Muse song it is.
I'm ready.
We're going to start off quite simple. Right, the first set of lyrics is you swept me right off the ground. You're the love I found. Is that Muse, or is let's conspire to ignite all the souls that would die just to feel alive? So is it A or B? B or A?
I'm going to go A.
So you swept me right off the ground. You're the love I found. Unfortunately, no, Joe, that was Aqua, Dr. Jones.
Damn.
It's nice that we're getting straight in with that. Lee. Let's conspire to ignite all the souls that would die just to feel alive. What Muse song are we talking?
Is that off of Absolution? Is that I can hear it as well.
I mean, hear it quicker. This is audio.
I mean, you're asking the questions, man. Go on, tell us.
It's Starlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just before the chorus, isn't it? I think. Right. So second Muse classic, and we'll. My spelling is. It's just one sec.
Reading your own handwriting.
Yeah. And we'll fall and we'll burn. No one will recall. No one will recall. Or you think you've private lives. Think nothing of the kind. There's no true escape. I'm watching all the time. Both absolutely literary masterpieces.
I'm going with A. I'm going to stick with A. Yeah.
Will too.
I'm not sure I got the lyrics right on that, but yes, that is correct. So there you go. And we'll fall and we'll burn, and no one will recall. No one will recall. What song is that from, Lee? What are we talking?
What was the other one from?
Oh, sorry, the other one's Judas Priest, Electric Eye.
Right. Okay.
Which is an absolute jam.
Go on, bring it out.
I think it's when we'll fall and we'll burn. No one will recall. No one will recall.
Is it Stockholm Syndrome?
Boom.
Is it?
It is Stockholm Syndrome. So, I mean...
Secret closet Muse fan.
Blowing my mind, the fact that Joe is absolutely nailing it with the Muse knowledge here. Lee, our resident Muse expert, bemused and bewildered. Right, let's see if you can get a twofer on this one, Joe. Right, oppose and disagree, destroy demonocracy, or your ears are full of their language. There's wisdom there, I'm sure. Your ears are full of their language. There's wisdom there, I'm sure.
Oh, they're both sort of obnoxious shit lyrics from the mind of a complete buffoon. But I'm going to stick with A.
I mean, the fact it had the word demonocracy in it is almost a dead giveaway, isn't it? You are correct. That is 100% grade A Muse bullshit. The second one was Coffee on TV by Blur. But there you go.
It's a great song.
So the way I got this, I tried to aim towards like kind of pompous and a little bit pretentious lyrics to match the Muse ones. What Muse song is this though? Oppose and disagree, destroy demonocracy.
Is it Assassin?
It is Assassin. Oh. You
Googling this shit?
No, not good. You'd be able to see me if I was Googling. I think my keyboard's in shot, isn't it?
I mean, like from the amount of times we've heard you typing into the fucking microphone over the years, Lee, I don't think there's any way of silently Googling.
But not during a quiz.
Indeed, indeed, yeah. I will check, like, once I do the editing on this, I will check back on the audio to make sure there is no foul play, but I'm pretty sure Joe here has been outed as a closet Muse fan.
Oh, that's not true. You've picked pop, like the poppiest Muse songs there are. They're played everywhere. You can't get away from them.
I mean, you might not be able to get away
Starlight, maybe, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, I would have thought Assassins, maybe not. Right, so...
Black Holes, is it?
Next one. It's not always black and white. Your heart knows what's right. Or show me it's real, wasting our last chance to come away.
B. I'm switching shit.
Okay. It is B. It is B.
There you go.
What is it?
Well, I can tell you, absolutely, that is from Muse's classic. No, I don't. I have no fucking idea. No, I don't know.
I thought you was going to nail it.
I got lucky twice. I think I'm out now.
Come on, Lee.
Reel it off again.
What are we saying? What is it?
Reel it off.
Show me it's real. Wasting our last chance to come away.
Fucking hell.
I mean, this is
Show me it's real.
possibly the biggest Muse hit. Like, aside from Plug-in Baby, possibly the biggest Muse hit.
The biggest Muse hit other than Plug-in Baby?
Yeah, like early Muse hit.
Is it Newborn?
It's Newborn.
Yeah,
It's fucking
yeah,
Newborn. The second one, it's not always black and white. Your heart knows what's right. Is from the Pokemon Black and White TV theme tune.
Great. Class.
And yeah, I mean, it just slides right in there, doesn't it? It just slides right in. You've got my son to thank for that one. He was happening to watch Pokemon while I was writing this quiz, so rep it. Final one. A hall of records or numbers or spaces still undone, ruins or relics, disciples or the young. Or I've tried so hard to spread love, but she prefers when I assert control.
Psycho. I mean, I don't know.
Psycho. I mean, it's pretty fucking bad, isn't it? But is it Muse? That's the question.
I think it's A, but I've no idea what Muse song.
So A is from Golden Scans by the Klaxons. But
And B is from
from
Psycho.
B is from what we say, Lee?
Psycho? Is it?
Psycho.
Psycho.
No, isn't that Talking
not?
Heads? No, it's Psycho Killer, isn't it? Kill or Be Killed.
Same album.
There you go.
Drones.
So
That helps.
I think from that we can conclusively prove that
Joe is a bigger Muse fan.
I mean, yeah, Joe's a massive Muse fan, and we've unearthed the truth. And
do you know I went to see them at Wembley Arena in like 2003, something like that.
Okay,
it was the first show they ever did at Wembley Arena. Biffy Clyro supported.
That was a wicked gig.
Well, yeah, it was. So we got tickets through, because even back then, even though I wasn't working for Ashdown, I was always good friends with the Ashdown family, and they of course were very good friends with Biffy Clyro. So me, my girlfriend, and a few mates all got tickets to go and see them, because at the time Biffy Clyro were a small band. Like, I don't think they'd even put out Puzzles at the time.
Oh shit.
Or maybe it had just come out or something like that, but they were a weird choice for a support, certainly. Like they weren't, almost weren't big enough. So yeah, so they were very lovely. They sorted us out with tickets. So I went to see them all the time back then, and I thought, Jesus Christ, this is a shower of shit.
Fuck's sake. Oh, the switcheroo right at the end there. My God.
Yeah. Back in the day, Muse used to support Depeche Mode, and that is a gig. Oh man, I'd have died to see that. That'd be so good.
Yeah. They're definitely there are bands that I thought could have been good. Their first couple of albums, and then
yeah,
and then that the thingy Black Holes and Revelations came out, and I was like, yeah, this is garbage. And so I think anything before then, I always thought, like, guitar tone wise, bass tone wise, it's a really interesting band. Maybe like lacked a little bit of a solid drummer, I think, but that's a personal preference. So he's a little bit unimaginative, but when it comes to like bass lines and bass tones, it more than makes up for it. And certainly, like, you think some of the stuff that Matt Bellamy was doing on like 8-string guitars at the turn of the century, like in like 2000, he was playing an 8-string guitar. That was just absolutely unheard of. So he's kind of, I think he's done a lot of really cool stuff in his early days. That's my hot take.
What you're saying isn't completely untrue, because every time they bring out an album, everyone's like, "Oh, I hope it sounds like the old stuff."
Origin of Symmetry, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what everyone wants, and everyone wants like another Muscle Museum and so on and so forth. But the last album was It was mixed, but it was more akin to the older stuff. Not 100%, but but they also remastered Origin of Symmetry recently, and
why?
I mean,
Why?
It was fine. It was fine.
It was fine. It was fine.
It didn't need doing.
Yeah,
no, that's a weird one. I understand remastering sort of like Rolling Stones or Beatles records because of the limitations they had back then, but remastering something just because it was the 90s and everyone thought that snares should be things that only dogs can hear is not really a good enough reason to remaster something.
He said that there was a boxy sound to the whole album, and he kind of wanted it to be more open, a bit like an EMG.
Yeah, fair enough.
Guess, but,
fair enough. I mean, the 90s, like the late 90s, the dawn of the century is a weird time for mastering choices and record production choices, especially in heavy music. We went through this sound where like B in a box guitar distortion was really popular, and like drum kits sounded terrible. In the early 2000s.
You've only got to look to Saint Anger, haven't you?
I know that's such an obvious one, and that was the extreme, but it's not like people talk about Saint Anger as if it's something that stands alone, and it's kind of like
it was just kind of the peak of that mountain.
That snare sound was very unique, thank fuck.
It was, but it was just an extreme of what was a popular standard. Yeah. People laugh at it like it came out of nowhere. No, it didn't. Like everyone was playing piccolo snares around that time. Like it was just a weird time for drum kits in heavy music. Oh. It was a bit like, Korn bred this thing where it's everyone was taking stuff to the nth degree at that point in time. Like Korn were like, no, we don't want. Yeah, and how few mids can you have? Like Korn has no mids; they're just lows and highs, but so much so that you're not really entirely sure what, if anything, is happening at any point.
Yeah, and it's really hard to pick out anything like in the bass frequencies. You just get the rattle of the extremely low tuned strings on a normal scale length.
I mean, I wouldn't say that it's just bad because of that, though, because like I still find myself going back and listening to old Korn records and so on and so forth. Especially if I can put it on when my whole family's in the car, because that's fun. And,
what? Why would you do that? You're supposed to love those people.
It's just to see what sort of reaction my kids have to this sort of stuff, because they aren't influenced by everyone telling them what's good and what's bad.
Make it stop, Daddy. Make it stop.
That's pretty much what happened. But Korn do have a lot of bounce to them. Korn do. There is a lot of groove there, man.
Sure. It's something that I never really got. Like I had. The new metal thing was kind of at its peak when I was around 15, so I was target market for it, and I understood Limp Bizkit, I understood like Linkin Park. Never got Korn, never really understood it.
Yeah, I was too with J Cross at that point. Like I was just punk rock, just pop punk, and that was the thing. Like, how old are you guys? How old are you both?
I'm not saying.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm somewhere in the mid-30s, but
Right, fine.
Like it's. Okay. I'm not at a milestone at the moment, so I don't care.
I legit told my doctor the wrong age 2 days ago. Purely
it gets
by
to that
accident.
point. It gets to that point.
Yeah.
I'm 38.
Okay,
which is the same as me. Yeah.
Which is something like 6 years older than J Cross. But like we definitely it was. At that time, when you were kids, it was you were punk pop or you were metal. Like, and you couldn't be both. You had to be one or the other. Wrong, and I was very much in that punk pop thing.
Most of my friends, in our group, we listened to it all.
Fair enough.
So yeah, we were because I went to see. I actually did security at Brixton Academy for Sum 41, and they were fucking brilliant. But yeah, we listened to Blink-182, Green Day. All that sort of stuff, and all the metal as well.
I think it's probably a Brighton thing, because Brighton has a really strong punk rock scene. So it's not like people listen to everything. It's that we have punk rock clubs, and that people very much identify. It has a
you had a place for it.
Yeah. And so, but it's a place for it. It's not a place for things outside of that. So
Yeah.
I mean, I was heavy into
we had
punk
some
rock.
great venues, but they were kind of like spread between everything. Like, they were really, really, really good rock venues, but they didn't say, okay, we're just doing this one thing. We're just doing metal.
Right. Yeah.
All the venues near me were. It was like the tribute band scene. So if you didn't really fit into that kind of demographic, then you didn't get much opportunity to play. So there was a lot of like originals bands that were aiming towards that classic rock kind of feel, just because those are the gigs you could get. Yeah,
I see.
I really really liked listening to punk rock, and then I picked up guitar, and then learned that I could play all of the punk rock within like 4 weeks of playing. And I was like,
Yeah.
shit, what do I do now? So then I went on to the classic rock stuff and like into the like heavy riffs and whatnot. But it's just year 11 with a tape recorder, listening to like Me First and the Gimme Gimmes.
Oh man, I tell you what, I remember doing what you did with punk rock because I never bothered trying to learn the punk rock stuff because I just didn't want to. When I was trying to learn guitar, I wanted to play all the classic rock stuff because that's where the guitar sounded like interesting.
Right.
I knew that the
Do a
metal stuff was
solo.
kind of like out. Yeah, but I knew the metal stuff was kind of out of my grasp at the time, so I was trying to learn all this classic rock. And when I realized, like, with like one shape, I could cover 90% of it, which was the power chord. I was just like, done. All I need to know is what order this power chord goes in and how many bars it's for. And that was. I was like, okay, done.
That was it with the punk rock thing. I'd learned the power chord, and I was like, well, I'll learn this Blink 182 song. It was that. It was like, I'll learn this Blink 182 song, and then it was, oh, but that's also this song, and it's also that song. And if I move it down 2 frets and do the same pattern, it's also this, and this. And I'm like, oh,
yeah.
Well, that's
For years, it's just that. It's two strings. It's your E and your A, 2 frets apart.
Yeah.
Like with your big and your little finger. And then because at the time, and I know I sling high now, but when I was into punk rock, I slung as low as you possibly could.
Yeah.
There's no way you could get your hand around it. So it was all about learning to lock your thumb over to do your low strings, and then like you could basically make a fist, and as long as you were just hitting your low 2 strings, you can move that anywhere on a guitar and pretty much play any song as long as it only had rhythm work.
Yeah,
which is all of punk pop.
Can we take a little segue as to see what that is that you've just picked up? Because
Sure. I don't know how, but this goes out as audio, so I'll describe what this is. So this is a Grez. What I'm holding, dear listener, is a Grez Mendocino with Lola gold foils. 2 Lola gold foils. A lovely Grez tailpiece, a simple single volume, single tone.
Yeah, it's almost got like a kind of Gretsch penguin look to it.
Grez is very much, I think, even in their name, they're very much, they're making custom shop Gretches, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's their vibe. They've nailed a very tasteful headstock that's got its own kind of thing going on. But yeah, it's completely hollow, weighs very, very little. Like it's just that's just a thin top on it. But I don't think I've made few better purchases ever in my life than a Grez Mendocino. It's
I mean, honestly,
really
mate, when you said Grez, I thought, he's saying Gretsch really weird.
But it's like
I thoroughly recommend checking them out. I can't. Few guitars I've ever played have ever been as perfect as a Grez Mendocino. This was actually sent to me as a demo unit that was supposed to go back over to the States, and I was just like,
no,
I don't. I can't. I don't think I can. He was like, "You sure? Like, I could just make you one, like for similar money. We can make one custom to your specs." And I was kind of like, I don't know what I'd change about this. It's so perfect. I do think it was helped for me by the fact that it turned up to me and he was like, I must apologize. The guy who had it before you, he strung it up with 12s and it's half a step down. And I was like,
perfect.
Really?
That's how I want it. That's how I want it. I'm going to take it another half step down, and then that's my perfect guitar, which is what it's in now. Just D standard 12s, absolutely brilliant guitar. Yeah,
Absolutely mental.
It was the guitar that made it okay for me to sell my Memphis Gibson Custom Shop ES175D.
Oh, okay. Because I remember that being mentioned quite a bit on the podcast, and that was the one, wasn't it? That.
Well, it was, yeah. I spent £3,700 on that guitar, which was an awful lot of money for me. I sold it for £4,500. So it was. That was good. But that guitar was always a dream guitar. But I realised that two things: I wasn't really playing it all that much, and when I started playing guitar in a band that just with my partner Emma actually, and my guitarist Tim on drums. He's a drummer first. And the problem was when I took an ES175 out and actually had to put effects through it, is they feedback like fuck. So it just wasn't an option. And I was like, I've basically got a $4,000 guitar here that's sitting around.
Useless. For your needs.
I can play it in my bedroom. Yeah. You don't need to play a $4,000 guitar in your bedroom. That sort of thing demands to be played live. And so, the guy who bought it from me was a very accomplished jazz musician, and I was so confident that the instrument was going to a really good place where it's just going to be, it's going to have the best life. Not that I think of guitars as living things, but I know that guitar is going to be used really well by that guy.
Yeah,
yeah.
You've kind of got a duty of care to the instrument, because you're not getting rid of it because you don't love it. You're getting rid of it because it doesn't meet the needs. I mean, you could there's stories of people like shoving socks into like F holes to stop it feeding back and whatnot. But that's a very undignified way to go for such a pricey instrument.
Yeah, exactly.
That really does sound like an innuendo.
I mean, we've all stuffed a sock or two before. Come on, lads.
But yeah, it's like someone at Gibson Memphis, and at Gibson Memphis, they, for all the flack that Gibson get these days, the people making guitars out of Memphis are probably the most skilled guitar builders in the world, and the stuff that they make is amazing. And the attention to detail on the ES175D was just like nothing I'd ever seen before. It felt like every time you picked up to play it was an experience. You felt better. You felt like a better player for playing it. And few guitars do that to me. So it was a tough sell, but also, I am trying to save for a flat in Brighton. So that was
the extra,
a good wedge of the deposit.
Extra couple of grand is going a long way.
Exactly. But the Grez Mendocino, I couldn't recommend more highly. If you're thinking about a custom shop, dear listener, and you want a Gretsch, and you actually want a Gretsch, Jay Cross won't like me saying this, but, come on. They're not the same owned by Fender. They're not the same.
Gretsch, they're always very busy on the front. There's the master volume. There's a volume for each pickup. There's trinkets all on the top. Whereas the Grez is that, but done tastefully.
A lot of gold foils. You can't. Well, come on. Electromatic, that is where I think Gretsch shine. I think the problem Gretsch have at the moment is that the premium end of Gretches, I can't see the quality difference above a lot of other brands offering things for around $1,000. And Gretsch at that sort of area are like $2,500. It's too much money for what they are. It's $2,500 for a poly finished Gretsch. I'm sorry. I'm just I know that nitro is not good for the environment, but I'm not willing to pay $2,500 for something that's covered in plastic.
Yeah.
And that's what Gretsch are. Whereas I do think when it comes to Electromatic, when it comes to the Streamliner, when you get Gretsch at the £300 to £500 mark, they are absolutely worth every penny. That's where they're good.
That's what I'm getting at. It's their low price stuff is just nearly as good as the highest price stuff, and the price difference is too vast.
Yeah, that's it.
Apart from the Bigsby's are absolutely fucking shocking.
Now, that is a wonderful point, and something that is easily overlooked, especially on the Electromatics, because the thing about Bigsby's, they look very, very cool. And as soon as you see and you're like, oh, here's this Electromatic, hollow body Bigsby loaded Gretsch. It's in like a two-tone finish where you've got like a light green wash on the front and like a darker green on the sides, and it's got binding. What more could you want? These Fidelitron style pickups. It's going to be amazing. That guitar is not going to hold tune with those B Bigsbys.
Yeah.
But if you get a hardtail, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
You know what though? You wouldn't gig a guitar like this. Well, yeah,
Why not?
I mean, you might not
because it's too fucking quiet. It doesn't. It's not going to keep up with my other guitars. If I
wait, what wouldn't it keep up with?
Anything. I plug it in and it's like so much quieter. It's just like a ridiculous amount quieter than everything else.
That's a preamp's job though. Volume's a preamp's job, surely. You got something on your pedal board to lift that up, and you're fine. Like guitars are louder and quieter than each other.
Yeah, but like
simple boost pedal,
but
surely.
a lot, yeah.
It's like
but
standing
a lot,
near a microphone with a classical guitar as opposed to a Les Paul. You know, it's that.
Sure.
Well, would you stand next to a Les Paul with a classical guitar?
Yeah.
That doesn't make no sense. Right, gentlemen. I think we have pontificated long enough. Let's do a hot take. A hot take. Well, I say hot. It's lukewarm hot takes. First of all, we're gonna do a mop up from 2 weeks ago because one of us forgot to put a hot take in the last one.
Wasn't me.
All right, Shaggy.
Hello, darling.
Our last hot take was signature gear should only be for touring artists. 85% said Beato is a beast. 15% says say no to Beato. So that means signature gear should be for all. That Beato is correct on having his signature SG special, is it?
So you're going to get a signature guitar then?
Me? I mean, if Gibson are offering a signature...
we can all fucking get one. Why not?
Wait, so where did that opinion come from? Do you guys both disagree with signature? Would either of you, a simpler question, would you buy a signature instrument?
Well, I have.
I've got one. Yeah.
It's
of course
not because of whose it is, but because of the guitar itself.
The Les Paul. Are you being funny and saying the Les Paul?
No, his Les Paul is a signature Les Paul.
Oh, okay. I thought you were doing that classic thing where you go, well, the Les Paul is a signature model.
No.
Okay.
I mean, he was going to, but now you've called him out.
It's a Billy Morrison Les Paul, but
right.
I've done everything I can to kind of hide that.
Yeah.
I see.
But the spec on it is amazing, so...
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so, I mean, the way that the hot takes work is it's either one of our personal opinions or we put our ear to the ground of the guitar community and hear what kind of opinions are being touted out there. And when this news article came out about the Beato signature, there was a lot of people I was seeing saying, like, does he really, like, should he really get one? So we thought I'd throw it out to the opinion of the people. This week's opinion is based on a video that I did last week on my channel, which is, it was a shootout between the Boss SD1 and the DS1, basically trying to find out which is the ultimate beginner guitar pedal because of the availability of them.
That's a great question.
The hot take this week, which may be controversial, is that the DS1 is the ultimate beginner guitar pedal.
Oh, really?
Really?
Did you think it would be the SD1? See, that doesn't surprise me. The DS1 seems like a perfect beginner pedal.
Yeah.
But,
so, I mean, both of them are within that price point that actually, and on the used market as well, you can pick either one up for about 30 quid. So they're well attainable within the kind of beginner market. There's so ubiquitous as well.
The metal work on a Boss pedal should be more than 30 quid, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. But like, you can pick them up all day, every day, and usually like a pretty good standard one for about 30 quid. So they are they're kind of within that like cheap Chinese clone at brand new prices territory anyway.
Yeah.
So
no, you know what? Right, you got to consider the amps these are going to be going into. If you're a beginner, you're not going to have a valve amp, and if you want a DS1 to shine, you need to be running it into a valve amp.
Oh, really? Why do you think that?
Because I've run them into non-valve amps and they sound shit.
My argument would be for the contrary, that actually the SD1 sounds much better when it is taming like a roaring amp.
Right.
Like a roaring valve amp at least. And the DS1 has more of that, like the distortion flavour that you might be after when you are a beginner guitar player, which will work with a solid state amp. I know it's not going to sound the best.
That's exactly what I think though. Like overdrive is kind of expansion. It's like tone expansion. And so into a valve amp, overdrive of any type is great because it's making those valves do more. Whereas distortion is like an effect. It's like adding a thing on top of your sound rather than, I don't know, broadening or deepening your sound like overdrive does. And so distortion, if you're just going into like a JC, or if you're a beginner, you're going into
line 6.
a little, you're going to something like that, then having that sort of like, here is, and because of course distortion is doing a little bit more than overdrive. Overdrive is expanding that sound, but essentially it's gain. Whereas distortion is adding compression in as well. That's almost desirable if you don't know what you're doing. Like there's a little bit more under the hood with a distortion pedal. I would agree, though. I would agree with Lee. I think the SD1 is a better pedal, like sounding wise.
Absolutely.
But that's like if you ask me which one I'd want on my board. If you want to talk about like what's a better beginner pedal, the DS1. That would, if I was new to guitar, the DS1 would get me excited about guitar more than an SD1 would. The SD1 would be all raw because it would emphasize my mistakes. All the harmonics would come through in ways that I wouldn't know how to deal with. Whereas the DS1 would be tight and controlled.
I think the EQ that you get on a solid state practice amp as well is got that really kind of compressed mid range. And if you add in an SD1 on top of that, you're just going to get more compressed mid-range. Sorry, an SD1, sorry. It's going to kind of emphasize the bad bits of that amp rather than giving you Nirvana in a box kind of. Because let's face it, when you were a beginner guitarist, you're not going to go for the subtle kind of edge of breakup tones on the DS1. You're going to crank everything up to 11 and go, yes.
Exactly.
I am a god.
The thing that you guys are overlooking here is what you've said is completely correct. When you're a new player, it is all about the distortion because that's where you're going to be able to sculpt the tonings and that sort of thing. But not a DS1. A DS1 only sounds like a distortion, really, when it's running
if you're already
a valve amp.
A gainy amp. Well, a gainy amp.
I had this exactly this issue with a Distortion Plus. I got a Distortion Plus when I was new to playing, hoping it was going to make me sound like Randy Rhoads, and it sounded like a wet fart.
So where would you go? HM2?
Metal Zone.
If you want to put the kids off playing guitar for life, then because like for a beginner, there's so many tonal options in the metal thing, Metal Zone, that you're more likely to get a bad tone than you are a good tone.
Get a KMA pedal then.
KMA do a great HM2 clone actually. The HM2, the Worm. Yeah. I'm recently discovering that HM2 is like a pedal that I've always overlooked because it's called the Heavy Metal, and that's a stupid name. But it's actually doesn't sound heavy metal at all. It sounds like a flipping great distortion pedal.
This is where the dear listeners are going to have their say on this. So we've got to put the poll in the Fret Talk podcast group, and you will vote as to whether you think the DS1 is the ultimate beginner guitar pedal. Make sure that you're voting with it based on that. I got so much flack on this video because people didn't read the fucking title. They're like, what are you talking about? Why don't you just buy both? Or, why would I buy either? And it's like, oh, fuck's sake. Just, come on, just read. Like, it's not that tough.
Well, I'm in DS1 camp. I'm in DS1 camp. That's the ultimate pedal for me.
Yeah.
The ultimate beginner pedal. If I was going to buy a first pedal, I can't think of more fun. I can. The answer to more fun is probably a DM2W because there's nothing more fun than analog delay. But you want to talk about? I wouldn't know what to do with it if I was a beginner.
Yeah,
and carbon copy.
They're outside of the price range as well, aren't they? They're kind of well past the £100 mark.
Oh, that's true. That's very true. That's a good point.
How much is a carbon copy mini?
Oh, I don't know. A carbon copy bright second hand is about £119. I know because that's how much I'm selling mine for at the moment.
So
if anyone's
you're after one,
interested.
hit him up for some details. We've got a few kind of news discussion bits. I feel we would be remiss if we didn't get wonderful Mr. Joe Branton to do his epic news.
Are you ready?
I think I am.
Nudes.
Hey, he did the thing. He did the thing. Woo! Right.
Oh,
so, PRS horse meat. Just the horse meat. I mean, they've done an entire lineup, but we're mainly talking about.
Okay, I didn't hear what you said before that.
Yeah, let's talk about the
horse meat.
So,
meat.
We're talking about the PRS pedals.
Yeah,
they did the horse meat, they did the wind through the trees, which is their dual flanger, and they did the Screaming Mary. I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah, I mean
Screaming
the other
Mary?
two, like not great names, but not terrible. Horse meat, arguably,
Brilliant name.
Arguably one of.
name.
I completely hard
about it.
disagree with that. This is it. Like even with stuff like the Steel Panther pedals, where they've done like the butthole burner and the melter, I'm like, it's not for me. I understand kind of that it has a market. Horse meat, it just makes me frustrated and cringe every time.
It's a play on the centaur.
Yeah. We know where it's coming from. We know
obviously
why it's named that, but there's got to have been a board meeting. There's got to be a few of these board meetings where
they've sat there and gone through
then went horse
every
meat.
single option,
that's
and
a
they're
really
like,
great
nope,
name.
done, taken. Simpsons did it, and it just keep going through like that until they're like, fuck it, just call it horse meat. Well, I can't actually think of anything else.
The names aren't good, but I think undeniably they sound good in the demos.
I haven't actually watched them
What
because
do
I
you
know
guys
what a clon
think?
sounds like. I know
Well, this is it. Yes, certainly there are a lot of competition out there. PRS coming into the pedal market. The thing about PRS is people who like PRS will fucking die on that goddamn hill. They will fucking die on that goddamn hill. And like they cannot be told, and they will take huge, epic offense to me even joking slightly that maybe I think a PRS is a bit shit. Like they can't take it. So absolutely, PRS are going to do very well with their pedals because they've got such a diehard audience. But I'm sorry, PRS lovers. I actually really dislike the look of the guitars, but I think they're undeniably fantastic guitars.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the thing that I always underestimate about PRS is that they're actually classic sounding guitars, aren't they? They're not very modern. I love classics. I love Les Pauls. I love everything Gibson do. And PRS do that sort of thing. So I maybe shouldn't give them so much flack. And the pedals are kind of the same thing. Yes, they look modern. They're super weird and techy. It's a very new look. The names are terrible. But
they look
the
like the
effects
80s to me.
changed.
They look like 80s consoles.
Maybe you're right. Maybe that's actually maybe what they are. But when you think of them sonically, I can't think of anything more classic. He's gone for a transparent Klon overdrive.
Yeah.
That's very cool. That's very vintage.
Very easy to use compressor as well.
Which is an LC2A, so a classic studio compressor.
Yeah.
And then he's gone for, yes, it's a dual flanger, but flanger is the wrong word. Everyone's always, when you hear the word flanger, you go, oh, tacky, cheesy, space jet sounds. Actually, what it is it's a tape machine emulator. Well, yeah, I mean, it even says it. Like, I think in the description, they've been like, do jet sound emulations. It's like, no, it's just a wobbly tape. It's
but you
a
don't say it's
tape
tacky.
machine.
It's great.
Oh, you like flanger? Oh, I see.
Of course, I like flanger.
Right.
I know your take on flanger, and it.
No.
Like,
I like
here comes the
flanger.
clown patrol. I think Mark said once, and that's always stuck with me, and I hate it.
I like flanger. But flanger is, I think, by people who don't like flanger. Flanger's thought of as a tacky effect. And I think maybe the name flanger has been stained with that. I think if this was called tape emulation, everyone would be like, oh, this is great. So if you think they've released a transparent overdrive, a classic studio chorus, and the Jimi Hendrix pressing his finger against the tape, rerunning his records, which is essentially what they're going for. Those are three fantastic sounds that PRS have now, put out there. I don't think they could have done a better job of the effects they've chosen. Just maybe the names. And I agree, the look of the pedal is not for me. But it's very PRS in that it looks vulgar and shit. But,
See, I like PRSs as well.
The thoughts and opinion of Joe Branton do not necessarily.
I really don't like all PRSs, and I understand like all the flame and stuff. It can get so bad, but some of them can look tasteful. There is the as I think we call it the owl turd, but that's one end of the spectrum, and then we've got the other end, which can be a natural looking PRS. Does that even exist?
Stuff like the mirror,
Yeah. The mirror is a great example, actually. And Lee, look, there are dentists all over the world that agree with you. The mirror is a great example. Actually, PRS do more good stuff than I ever give them the credit for. When they're not flamey, and that's just a personal preference. I don't know them. When they're not flamey, they're actually fantastic looking. Yeah, and all the time, they're great sounding and great playing and incredibly built. You can't argue that. They're...
Yeah, even down to the SE line, they punch well above their price point.
I actually think the SE line changed the game for Korean-made guitars. I don't think people had... I think Korean guitars always had respect, but now Korean guitars are thought of as highly, if not higher, than Mexican-made instruments.
Yeah.
And I think the SEs were the first to come out of that. Lots of companies obviously do it now. Reverend, go to the same factory, Mir, that make the
SEs,
that make the SEs. In fact, Ashdown went there for our first stab at basses. But lots of people use that factory now, and the quality Court have their Court factory, don't they? They've moved out of Mir now. But yeah, the PRS SEs. I remember when SE Exotics came in, and they did like the baritone. And they did all those weird things. They were $799 in British pounds. No one had hit a quality level like that ever. It was very impressive.
Absolutely. I mean, not so long back, a couple of months back, played one of the SE Silver Skies, just happenstance.
Oh yeah.
And I was then Googling how much is this going to set me back.
Really? Wow. So I'd be really interested to hear this because I've never played one of the SE Silver Skies. Are they still 725 on the radius?
No, it's 8.5, I think.
Oh, so they've gone somewhere in between. That's kind of a good idea to make it a bit more of a general purpose instrument. So how did you feel it compared, I guess, to like a player Strat is I guess an obvious comparison.
I mean, they've like the Mexican range of Fender have really upped their game within the last kind of 5 years, and I think that the player stuff is really, really good quality and well built. It absolutely wipes the floor with like my preconception of Mexican Fenders, which was basically a Squire but with Fender on the headstock.
I couldn't agree more.
So they've really upped the game there. It's a different beast because I mean, have you played the US Silver Skies?
Yes, yeah, I have.
And it's not a Strat. It's
no, sure. It's not too far off though. I mean, it's just
you get similar tones, but when you're playing it, I didn't feel like I was playing a Strat.
Well, for me, when I tried those, the ordinary Silver Sky, I couldn't see what the fuss was because, and it's nothing to do with John Mayer. It was just because when PRS do a bolt on, I don't think that's their strong point. I don't think that's what they are better than everyone at.
They've not had
so that was the thing.
Prestige, have they, with the bolt on?
Yeah, it's like I understand what's so good about a PRS. it's just not necessarily like a custom 24. I get it. I get what the purpose is. When you're giving me a £2,200 bolt-on PRS and telling me to buy that instead of a £1,200 Fender, I just couldn't see the difference. Other than people gagging on John Mayer, like that was the reason that everyone bought one.
Absolutely,
yeah, because it had been something that had been in the pipeline for such a long time, and then it was like the guitar release equivalent of edging. It was they'd been teasing it and teasing it and teasing it, and then finally, those wallets did spread all over the shop, didn't they? But again, with the SEs, they did exactly the same thing. It was, when's the SE coming out for this? When's the SE coming out? And that was about 3 years in the making. And then it was a case of, yes, this is, and it's not the most affordable SE, because it's right at the kind of mid to top price range within the SE, or at least was.
I think what they were kind of saying without saying when they were releasing it is like, this is going to be the Strat to end all Strats, and from what I'm getting from you, it's not much like a Strat.
No, it's you get those Strat flavors, but it's a lot more of a modern playing Strat than a Strat is.
Oh, because of that cutaway they worked for years on.
Yeah,
right.
Like just the general feel of it, because the position of the controls isn't in the kind of Strat place, so you're not constantly hitting yourself, and it's just like little tweaks that are so unnoticeable, but when you're actually playing it, you know that you're not playing a Fender. The pickups were fantastic as well, by the way. The SE pickups were really, really well voiced.
Right.
So I was like genuinely very impressed. So much so, like I've always been pining after one of the Nick Johnston Schecters.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Yeah, and absolutely, and they're kind of a similar price point. And it then put in my mind, actually, if I do get this money together for this, which way am I going to go now? Rather than just, yes, I'm going for the Nick.
I think I'd rather see PRS written on a headstock than Schecter.
Yes, but like over the last couple of years, they've released like the PT series, like Telecasters, and they're absolutely fantastic playing, fantastic looking. They've been hitting like the Nick Johnston stuff as well. They've been going for a lot more of a classic market than the kind of drop tuned EMG laden Schecter of my youth.
Well, let's not forget they do the Cure. They've got a Robert Smith signature model.
Everything comes back round. Oh shit, man!
I'm tired.
I'm tired of your bullshit, Lee. Yeah, I reckon that's a good place to end us for the week. I have got a little mop up for this. Last week we mentioned a comment from Al Lawson in the podcast group about us getting a fact about Bond wrong. It was a quote from Alan Partridge, which just went completely over our heads. So he was like living deeply within a well of embarrassment this week. So I'm going to mention it again. So that's perpetual. So there you go. That's the gift that keeps on giving.
Wow.
So we've got some people to thank. First of all, we're going to thank Mr. Joseph Branton for gracing us with his presence. Podcast royalty here.
Thanks, guys. It was so lovely to be on this podcast.
Indeed. It was absolutely fantastic to have you. We're going to extend a thank you to our. I thought that was a kazoo. Then I thought you were going to do a little fanfare, but it wasn't. It was just regular old beer. So I'm going to extend a thank you to our listeners and extend a extra special, super sexy thank you to our Patreon backers, who, for as little as $2 a month, you can get your name on this list, an exclusive list. They are the people as follows. We've got Mr. Andrew Bimson. We've got Mr. Adam Yeomans of Chevtone Effects. We've got Mr. Doug Christ of 37 Effects, of Masters of the Cinematic Universe, and the Just Surprise Me podcast. We've got Mr. Hugh G. Rection. We've We've got Mr. Ben Fletcher of Fletcher Pickups. And we've got Mr. Brian Gare of the Tone Jerks podcast and the Second Button podcast and occasionally the Just Surprise Me podcast. If you want to catch me online, you find me at BudgetPedalChap. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. YouTube is the home to the No Talkle Tone series and the home of the No Talkle Tone Versus series. This week we have got another one of those Demon Effects pedals. I think it's the Vemuram Janray clone, which
Timmy.
Yeah, Timmy time. Yeah. Lee, where can we find you?
You can find me on Facebook on Pedalboards of Doom. You can find us on the page, on the group. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram. Probably going to have some other things soon, such as ticketing, tockening, and all that sort of bullshit. So if you want to find me, basically, I'm just going to be in your face anyway. So yeah, there.
Woo woo. And Mr. Joe Branton, where can we find you? Good sir.
Well, yes, you can listen to the Guitar Nerds podcast. Just tap Guitar Nerds into your preferred podcast platform, and you can pretty much do that on whatever social media platform you like. We make little video shorts on Instagram, which are quite fun at the moment. So check us out on Instagram and listen to the podcast. Guitar Nerds is the name.
Indeed. Yeah, you've got quite the following going on there as well. Join the crowd. Be part of at least top 5 guitar podcasts of all time.
Very good.
So, from myself, Mr. Budget Pedal Chap, from Lee Padabadababadababadoo. He looks like he's gone to sleep. From Lee Padabadababadababadoo.
Hey.
And from Mr. Joe Branton, it will be a tatty bye and good night for this week.
Farewell.
Bye all.
I used to date twins and a twin. I used to date a twin. And people used to always ask me this to say, how do you tell the difference? But I always used to remember that Linda wore blue nail polish and Bob had a cock.
Yes. Right on. Right
there
on.
you go.
Yeah.